Hello, this is Dewitt, producer of Getting It In.
Yo, what up? This is Chris Cooley, and I'm with
Jon Ceasr, the one and only. If anybody tell you any difference, they the phony.
You know, we doing it real large in Buffalo. I'm on the Dewitt show, Dewitt Lee. You know, I'm with my man. He holding it down. We doing big things in Buffalo.
That's what it is.
Word. Oh, and definitely Naughty. You know, we in Buffalo. We, you know what I mean, recording.
That's right.
I heard you did the Get Rich or Die Train with 50 Cent.
I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I was like a background in it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be 50 Cent.
Yeah, could you tell me how you collaborated on that film?
Well, basically, you know, I was like living up in Canada, and I was trying to make money. My boy Dewitt let me know that is this audio gonna mess up?
Yeah, you good. You good.
Okay.
Don't even worry about that.
That's
You know, background.
This Buffalo, you know how they do.
Nah, we official. We professional, definitely.
I feel you. All right. So the Get Rich or Die Trying, you know, I mean, it was a background role. I don't even think you could see me in the movie. But if you want to see something with me in it, not just in the background, you know what I mean? You gotta check out the Romans movie coming out 2013, Knuckle City Films. I play Big Earl in it.
My whole life, my ultimate passion was to serve God. And help those who are blind to God's power. Some believe in God, but are unwilling in giving up certain freedoms, fun, and dark opportunities. My faith does not rest on men's wisdom. My faith rests on God's power, as yours should.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on me. Well, if I've done somebody wrong, Lord have mercy.
Working on, you know, I got a project coming out that we're shooting right here. It's called The Romans.
Right.
Through Knuckle City Films, I was blessed to get a leading role as Earl Roman, and I'll tell you a little bit about the movie. I play the godfather of a mafia family here in Buffalo, and my son is a pastor, and so I'm supporting him. I bought him a church, and I'm supporting him. And what happens, I don't want to spoil everything, but what happens, I end up getting taken out, killed in the movie. So
you don't want to give nothing away. You just gave that away. I think you're being a little reckless with the storyline here.
Well, I want to give them like some basics so they can come and watch it. You know what I mean? So, like I was saying, I'm a gangster in it. I play OG gangster in it, and my son is a pastor, and I end up getting killed, and my son has to decide if he wants to take over my business or continue with the cloth. Also, in Toronto, I'm also doing a play called No God Can Ever Forgive Me. We did it, I have a church that I'm a part of. It's Global Kingdom Ministry in Scarborough, Ontario. And also play a criminal in jail, the main character. I'm the main drug dealer of the jail. And this play is about guys that go to jail and they find Christ. So
very good,
very blessed,
very good
to be a part of two immaculate things that's going on, and also Queen City, which was shot here in Buffalo with Vivica Fox. I have a part in that. That will be premiering November the 4th at UB. You can go on and check my Facebook and get all the information for that. That was directed by Peter McGinnis Jr. And so, you know, I have a lot of things that's going on, and, you know, I wanted some serious roles because a lot of people just know me for the comedy, but now I believe people will be able to see a different side of Jon Ceasr. I have jokes, but I also, like I said,
you kill people. You also kill people.
I graduated from performing arts, you know.
So you got diversity.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Speaking of diversity, when I think of the word diversity, I think of Toronto, and I know you mentioned, you know, some work in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that whole experience deserves a book. And well, I mean, think about it. You know, I mean, just think about all the different things and anyone has made the transition from here to there, you know, really can create some kind of leave a legacy of what we both, you know, had to endure. You know, I'm encouraging you to do a book because I know I'm in it. Like chapter one of the somewhere I'm in it.
Somebody got to spell the words right.
Somewhere I'm in it because if you're going to do an autobiography, certainly, you know, I found myself in it, and you know, I was happy to watch things happen and tell a little bit about to the people who are listening about stepping into you know, a world where you may not see a familiar face, you may not be a recognized face, but you have a drive inside that propels you to move forward.
Well, I mean, through the grace of God, that you know, I met Brother Dewitt, and you know, some of the things that I was booked up there, that he booked me, and a lot of comedy spots, and he helped bring me to the Lord, you know, because he got saved, and you know, I followed in his footsteps and got saved. And yes, it was very hard because I wanted to be the first, you know, actor comedian to go to Canada to actually make it. A lot of comedians come from Canada and they come to America and they make it. And you know, I wanted to be that first one to go to Canada to actually make it. There's a lot of filming, you know, that I did up there, background scenes, you know, background work that I did up there. But it was very hard.
It was hard.
Dewitt could even tell you, I was homeless for a bit up there. I stayed in his office, slept on his floor, and like through the grace of God, you know, like I said, he brought me to God because he got saved, and you know, it's the first time I ever really tried to follow a man, and I followed him, and I got saved, and you know, just been going strong ever since then.
Wow, you know, you brought me back. I didn't think I didn't expect you to bring me back like that, man, on camera. But you know, it's true. We all had to do whatever we had to do to make it to the morning light.
Yes,
you know,
butter and jelly sandwiches.
But you know what? It's such a worthwhile experience, and you find out what you're made of. You know, and I think you find out what people are when they have stuff, and you find out who people are when they don't have stuff. At least you find out who you are when you get stuff, and you find out who you are when you don't have nothing. Nothing. You find out what you're made of.
I had Nathaniel, you know.
So now, you know, and you talked about doing some films. I know The Hulk was one of the productions. And
yes, Man of the Year.
Yeah.
You can see me in that with Robin Williams. I did a lot of background work up there, the 16 Blocks, play a cab driver in that. Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm one of the technicians by the speaker. You might not notice because it was so dark. Man, there's so many stuff that I did up there, and I actually wasn't supposed to be working like that up there. You know?
I think we're gonna stop right there in regards to talking about what we had to do so we can get it in.
All right.
But you know, I do appreciate you bringing us back to a Christian focus because this is getting it in, and this is about Christians on the grind for the gospel. So you know, I know there were a lot of days where you really felt charged to incorporate the gospel in your work. And you know, with this play, you're certainly executing that and pursuing that. But with the stand-up comedy, I know that's something that you certainly cut your teeth in and recognized around the world for. How is that progressing and really taking a stand for God in the comedy scene like that?
Well, it's really through the grace of God. I give God all the glory because He's allowed me to do Christian set. He's allowed me to go to Yuck Yucks and do a blues set. And as long as I get that message across that, that I am a Christian, a young Christian in this, I think Steve Harvey has said it as, well, that God is still working on him. So, there is some shows that I have to go to, and I warn my Christian friends not to come that night because, it's a paycheck. One of the promoters in Canada told me, he was like, I hope you're not going to get all churchy with my crowd, you know what I mean? And that really struck me. It really hurt me when he said that, but I still had to get that paper. But I'm not that nasty on stage, but, for the crowd, if I'm losing the crowd, I might, throw in a little sit on it buckle, you know what I'm saying? Or up your nose with a rubber hose or something like that. But, I try to, like I said, my personal life, I'm a Christian. You know what I mean? And you see me on screen playing a gangster or a pimp, or what have you, you know, that's just a character that I'm portraying. But if you want to come kick it with me, offset, you know, I mean, I'm a Christian, and I'm kicking the word straight to you.
So how do you? So we have a few minutes left. What kind of words would you give to young Christians who are interested in the entertainment field? You know, from comedy all the way to modeling. How do they go about standing for Christ? You know, feeling obviously the you know, after the pursuit of fame and profit. You know, but how do you find that balance and what has worked for you? And if this will be your close, so please give it to them.
Well, basically, I would just tell them to quit now and get out the business, because it's all about me right now, and let me get my money first. No, I'm just kidding. I would just say put God first, and everything will work out. If you are serious with doing this, you have to put God first. If it was not for God, I would not be here today. So if you really and truly, you know, I live and I sleep and I breathe this. But the problem I was having before was I was not putting God first. Once I started putting God first, everything, all the doors started opening up for me. So I would say modeling, poetry, acting, whatever you're doing. I don't care if you're a construction worker. I don't care if you're a bum picking up a piece of paper on the street. Put God first, and everything's going to work out. And that's from your boy, Jon Ceasr.
I'm just blessed. I've been in this for like 25 years. I'm just now getting my bills paid through the grace of God. You know, you got to put God first. You got to put God first, and everything's going to work out for you.
Yo, God bless America, man. We out here. One.